Grab a lot of pillows. Hey. Grab all the pillows. Here we go. Alrighty. We are rolling. Okay. Hi, Georgie. How are you? Alrighty. We got approximately 4 minutes. So you got time. Let me tell you while I am visible, not while you're just looking at my neck. My neck. We're actually going to start lying on our backs tonight. It's going to be lovely. So if you're in your bed, here, I'll come so you can actually see me. If you're in your bed or wherever you are, you know, I'm just on the floor, regular yoga mat. You could be on those really cushy, dense ones or really on anything. But we're going to be starting off lying on our back. So I have this bolster here. If you have a bolster, if you have like a body pillow in your bed, you can put that kind of a third of the way from the bottom of your mat or your bed. This is for under your knees, so you can kind of relax the back of your knees over it. And then if you have some other pillow, so if you have, I just love having these like kind of flattish, soft cushions. You could also do, I guess, a whole body pillow, like lengthwise underneath of you, just so that your whole spine is on one flat plane, kind of like we do in Yoga Nidra. But I prefer to just, if you're as flat as possible, from your tailbone to the back of your head. That's not even right for me. I'm gonna get this semi-flatter pillow to make up the difference here. Just so that you have something really cushiony underneath of you, but also that it's not like propping you up and making weird shapes with your spine. You just want your spine to be able to rest and lie flat. So you got 2 more minutes to set yourself up. We're going to be working with the Capricorn Moon tonight. It is a stabilizing and really methodical energy. So get really particular about how your stuff is set up. It matters, right? You matter, your stuff matters, how you organize your space matters. That's what Capricorn brings to us. It brings us this recognition that things being in their place is important, because Capricorn is the sea goat. It has a tail for its hindquarters and hooves for its front legs. So it's got to really be specific about where it places its feet. It can't risk being careless and slipping off and falling back into the sea. That's just going to take even more time. And we can kind of parallel this to our spiritual journey, our spiritual awakening, which of course is under a massive, not only attack, but is an epidemic, that we are not as connected to our own definition of a higher power, a power greater than all of humanity, all beings everywhere. May we become ever closer to that realization of self, being one with higher power as we define it. May we become more at peace, knowing that we are fully loved, wholly supported, infinitely guided, and that we are allowed to take our time, to be cautious, to be planned and specific. I'm going to pull a card just to kind of guide even more than what the Capricorn energy brings. Oh, two wanted to come forward, so it's always a good sign. Interesting. We've got the Aries energy, I am, and the Moon soul energy. We're doing a lot of work with souls lately. So soul energy coming up. And then, of course, we're going to work with the Capricorn energy, which is also dun, 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 dun. Those of you who know will know. I don't mean to be leaving you hanging there, but I just wanted to check on the house. So maybe it's yeah, I think I won't be calling in the house. I'm gonna go for roots. Fourth house of roots. Yep, that's what I'm going with. Get ready. Okay. This is so funny because this never really happens to me. I then can't find Capricorn again in the book. Here we go. Okay, I use. Yeah, and Capricorn is going to be coming up when we enter into December, so the holiday season. All right, we're late as as my own particular fashion. So lie down, beautifuls. Welcome to Astrology of the Capricorn Moon, Restorative Yoga. This is a wind down practice, and I invite you to do just that. Forget all of your cares and worries and stressors and anticipations about what happened before, what's going to happen after this, and just let yourself lounge, linger, and melt into comfort, ease. We never rest enough. So let this be that for you. So, as I said when we were setting ourselves up, let's bring our legs, the backs of our knees to be supported, and the rest of our spine and the back of our head to be relatively in one flat plane. I'm just going to give us a little ding. Hopefully you could hear that through my little sound off. Alrighty, so scooch yourself down, lay down gently, carefully, and just let your lower body relax and rest. Feel into the backs of your heels on the floor or on your bed. Feel the space behind your ankles and your calves. Feel the backs of your knees supported. Feel some space behind your thighs. Feel where your buttocks touches down, your hips. Maybe there's some space under the curve of the low back, maybe not. Check in with where you can feel the backs of the ribs, the shoulder blades, the backs of the upper arms, the elbows, the backs of the wrists or the knuckles. Let your arms be a little bit away from your body. Let your toes fall out to the side. Feel a space behind your neck and feel the back of your head heavy. The next time you inhale, let your mouth gape open, let your eyes close, and let your gaze come to the space between the eyebrows, the third eye, Ajna chakra. And then also allow the gaze to travel back to the lower back of the skull, Bindu chakra. And then allow your awareness, that same gaze, to travel up to the crown of your head. So it's kind of sticking out to the side, right? It's a horizontal direction that it's moving in. And if you haven't already exhaled, of course, exhale, and then follow that same path back. So from the top of the head, Sahasrara, to the upper back of the skull, Bindu. Then bring the awareness back to Ajna, the space between the eyebrows. And then once more, as you continue breathing out, come into Vishuddhi, the throat chakra. And you can contract your throat a little bit into an ocean sounding breath or an ujjayi breath. Ujjayi, I love that. Onomatopoeia. Ujjayi. Ah. It's a Darth Vader breath, also known as. So if you restrict the muscles in the back of your throat as you inhale and as you exhale, and act as if you are fogging up a mirror with every breath. Even on the inhale, you can create such powerful breath to fog something up, and especially on the exhale. And then the next time you breathe in, bring your hands to your belly. Just give it a nice little rub around. We so rarely touch our bellies. We're always trying to suck them in and hold them back and get them to be svelte abs. Well, here, don't. Don't do any of that. Just let yourself be loving towards your belly. Let yourself touch or palpate, as we say in a yoga class, right? Palpate your stomach. Just touch it how it wants to be touched, right? Lovingly, caressingly. Ain't nobody gonna lose any weight or get any abs by beating you into submission, right? We love things into submission. We love this blessed vessel that has carried us this far, that has been our home, and that will continue to sustain and support us. So show it some love and care. The core is a really important place in the body. It's supporting the whole spine and really so many of the internal organs are here. Alrighty. And then we're going to place one hand on the low belly, so fingertips kind of down by the pubic bone. The palm is underneath of the belly button, so you really want to feel that lower abdominal area. And then you're going to take your other hand and just place it on your chest. So your elbows bent, your arms kind of hanging down by the side. Wherever it falls and rests, place that hand over whatever part of your chest, your heart, just somewhere above the belly, the ribs. So we're going to learn Agni Raj breath tonight. And I really like this for Capricorn energy because it's a foundational breath. It is the source of my meditation. It's a very meditative breath, and it's a moving meditative breath that you can use at any time with any movement. Inhaling as you move up, exhaling as you move down, or together, like crunching. So it all begins with a relaxed pelvic floor. So you have this muscle at the base of your spine, the perineum muscle. You can engage those muscles, and that's called Mula Bandha, the root lock. And you can release it as if you were going to allow yourself to urinate. And contract it again, just to get kind of familiar with that area. No one can see this, by the way. You can't see me doing Mula Bandha. So it's a cool practice because you can really do it anywhere. It just might leave you feeling a bit vulnerable and open to the elements because if you've never worked with that root chakra, it can be a little destabilizing. So just now that you're in your home, in the safety and security of your own space, is a great place to work with it. And I'm here to support you if you want to go deeper into what comes forward for you. I'm a holistic coach. This is what I do, somatic, spiritual work. So let me know if you want to, yeah, just address and bring light to what comes forward for you. So release all those muscles and inhale. So let your belly fill up with your breath, so much so that it lifts your hand, right? And then as you go to exhale, first contract the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, and then start engaging the lower abdominals until you're drawing the belly back towards the floor, kind of away from your hand. And then when you're ready, release the pelvic floor. Inhale, fill up, big belly. Then let your ribs expand also. So I got like big, just ate dinner belly going on here. It's all good. Again, when you're ready to exhale, contract Mula Bandha, draw your belly back away from your palm. Let your ribs kind of come down. Your head might tilt back and your chest might come forward a little bit if you're really engaging it to come down a bit, right? Ribs coming down and back. Once again, inhale, release Mula Bandha. Let the pelvic floor open. Let the belly fill with breath. Let the ribs fill with breath, and let the heart fill with breath. Maybe you're expanding your shoulders out to the sides or really kind of lifting the ribs and the chest up a little bit. And again, when you're ready to exhale, engage Mula Bandha. Sorry, ooh, I'm sleepy today. It was an early one. Draw the belly back, draw the ribs down, let the chest sink a little bit. So again, your head might tilt back further, especially if you're still doing Ujjayi. And then when your body needs to inhale, again, release Mula Bandha, let the belly fill up, let the ribs expand, let the chest expand, and maybe you feel the breath all the way up in your throat. So by this time, this hand that's up on your chest is probably lifting a little bit. You can feel the breath travel all the way up from the root to the throat at this point, and maybe you can feel your chest rising or your collarbones rising or something. It's just here for your awareness, right? The hand isn't doing anything other than feeling where in the body the breath can go and where it lifts. And then again, on your exhale, whenever you're ready, engage Mula Bandha, belly back, ribs down, chest sinks, the throat. So we're trying to draw the chin back so it helps to support Ujjayi, and the ears kind of in line with the shoulders. You might make this grimace face. All right. I don't remember actually if I was on the inhale or the exhale. Maybe I was on the inhale. Inhale, fill up, belly, ribs, chest, throat. Maybe the breath comes all the way up to the third eye, that Ajna chakra. Close your eyes and just see what you sense. What is the sensation that you have? Maybe you feel all of these chakra positions. Maybe you see colors. Maybe you see images. Maybe you see far off lands. Maybe you see nothing at all, just black behind your eyes. Nothing is wrong. It's just what you're aware of. And then as you exhale, whenever you're ready, again, we follow the body's natural breath rhythm, not my command. Exhale and engage Mula Bandha, draw the belly back, the ribs down, The chest kind of lifts a little bit. The head falls back. The throat, we draw the ears and the jaw back behind us. So we're tractioning the back of the neck. And then we just see if we can feel anything in the third eye between the eyebrows. Ajna. It's a really good place to bring that Ujjayi back. Ready? Final two. Inhale. Let the belly fill up. Let the ribs expand. Let the chest and the throat, the third eye, Bindu. We're going to focus on the back of the head where it's resting on the pillow. Oy, and then all the way up to Sahasrara. So this is just an awareness, right? The breath is traveling up from the root, Ajna, Bindu, Sahasrara. And then as you come to exhale, again, every breath starts at the root and draws upward, no matter if it's the inhale or the exhale. So as we exhale, we're going to engage Mula Bandha, draw the belly back, ribs down, chest and shoulders sink, throat is heavy, third eye is heavy, really letting that nectar drop back into Bindu and then into the top of the head at Sahasrara. And then as we release and inhale, Mula Bandha goes away, the belly gets full, the ribs expand, the chest lifts, the throat lifts, the head lifts, the third eye is light and luminous. Bindu Sahasrara. And then exhale. We're just going to take 3 full breaths with that whole sequence. Root to crown. Mula Bandha to Sahasrara. Inhale, fill up. Belly, ribs, heart, throat, third eye, Bindu, Sahasrara, top of head. Exhale, engage Mula Bandha, belly back, ribs down, chest sinks, head tilts back. Vishuddhi, Ajna, Bindu, Sahasrara. 2 more. Inhale. Allow the spine to be undulating as well. So you're allowed to be like kind of rocking the lower back. It doesn't need to stay still. We're just feeling into what this brings, what sensation this upward repetitive breath brings into the body, this awareness of the soma, the body experiencing itself from within. Big inhale, belly fills, throat, third eye, back of head, top of head. Exhale, contract, Mula Bandha, belly back, ribs down, chest sinks. Ujjayi, visualize the breath in the throat, the third eye, the back of the head, the top of the head. 1 more. Inhale fully. 1 full round of inhale and exhale. Breath is warm. Belly fills, ribs fill, chest fills, top of the head fills, traction the neck. Exhale. Engage Mula Bandha, draw the belly back, the ribs down, the chest kind of lifts, the head falls back, the throat gets the brunt of the force. Ajna, Bindu, Sahasrara, that's the pathway. And then inhale again, and as you come back to a less exaggerated form of the breath, we're going to just replace the hand on the belly, so now you have both. And we're going to feel into another round of breath. Inhale and exhale. Agni Raj. So root the crown with every breath. We don't come back down. We just keep breathing up, 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 up. Inhale. Release Mula Bandha. Fill the belly. All the way to the top of the head. Pelvic and abdominal contraction starts the exhale. Draw the belly back, ribs down. Chest sinks. Head falls. Let's do 2 more. Full inhale breath. Release Mula Bandha. Traction the neck slightly for a bit of Jalandhara Bandha or throat lock. And then when you're ready to exhale, first pelvic and abdominal contraction draws the belly back, then the ribs down, and the head tilts slightly. When you're ready to inhale, relax and release the pelvic floor. Fill up as much as you possibly can with breath. And your final exhale, it's controlled, right? It's not this, it's I engage, I ujjayi, so I have a little bit of restriction in my throat. It's very methodical, it's very planned. It's not just a release, it is a conscious choice. I invite you to utilize Agni Raj throughout the entire class today. And if you forget at any time, it's fine. Just come back to it. I'll remind you a couple times, but just give it a whirl. The next time you inhale, we're going to take these knees, walk the feet a little bit closer to the hips, and then just bend the knees and hug them into your chest. So when we exhale, we pull the knees back towards the ribs. When we inhale, we let the thighs move away from the body. Same thing as Agni Raj. The breath is still traveling from root to crown. We're just now exhaling and pulling the thighs back with the hands and the breath and the engagement of the pelvic and abdominal floor. And as we inhale, we let the belly kind of push the thighs away. You wait for your body to be ready to exhale. You engage Mula Bandha, and you create space by drawing the belly back towards the spine, using the hands to draw the thighs towards the ribs. Again, as you inhale, as you're ready, release Mula Bandha, let the thighs move away from the ribs, creating some space. If you haven't tried it already, give it a whirl. Now we're going to bend the knees, extend the feet up towards the ceiling. And you're going to bring your hands and grab onto maybe your shins and calves, maybe your ankles. Maybe you can grab the outside edge, the knife edge, the pinky toe side of your foot for a bit of happy baby. And I'd like to remind you that we can play here. It doesn't have to be this one position that we're very serious in. After all, this is restorative. This is winding down. So I'd like you to embody that part of Capricorn that it never really gets to be. Capricorn is serious and methodical and planned and very adult, right? But we all are little children still. And we need to give ourselves times to just fool around and play and not be so serious, right? Capricorn reminds us that, yeah, we do have methodical, calculated steps to take, and we need to have some fun sometimes. That's what the Leo in us all does. But you can still plan how you're going to move in Happy Baby if you really want to. Right? You can decide, like, I'm going to roll over to this side and then I'm going to roll over to the other side, or I'm going to try to stick one of my toes in my mouth. I've never actually seen anyone do it in class, but I can't see you anyway, so it doesn't matter. You can place your hands on the balls of your feet. You can put your fingers in between your toes and kind of give them this yogi toe lock or play with the space between the toes. Oh, that one's hurting a little bit, so I'm going to give them a little massage. You know, this is the intuitive part of practice where you're really meant to just feel what feels good to you. When's the last time you laid like this and just let yourself play? You know, when was the last time you actually acted like a happy little baby? I would venture to guess it's been a pretty long time. Unless you've been coming to my classes forever. And even then, I haven't done it in a while. So play. Because Capricorn Moon energy likes to tell us this is serious stuff. No playing allowed. I'm just going to read you a little bit as you play around with your piggy toes. I'm also going to get a sip of water, so excuse me for a moment. Capricorn, the mantra is I use. So, whatever resources you have, right? I utilize it. I put it to work for me. Capricorn says it's time to focus on your objectives and not let up. So we have this energy in our moon. So it's like it's time to really focus on how we feel emotionally. Ruled by Saturn, the planet of hard luck. If you've had a Saturn return, you'll recognize like it ain't easy. It's the sea goat that climbs the steepest cliffs to gain worldly success. And though Capricorn is very resourceful, right? That's why we use all the pillows and we set ourselves up for success tonight. When the moon is in Capricorn, we also just really want prestige and power. We want to win. We want to get to the top of the mountain. And we're very ambitious. We want to just take the whole world by the horns and take charge and do the thing. But it's also a very spiritual energy. So we can take actions and we can meld in our spiritual self, our emotional self, and our practical self. We can take an action that makes a difference in our journey up the mountain of our own design, right? Whatever the peak is for you. Maybe take a moment and close your eyes and continue Agni Raj breathing and call to mind what is the end goal for you? What are you climbing up the mountain to do or achieve or be? And what's the sea for you? Where did you come from? What are you growing out of that may or may not have supported you all that well? Right? The sea wasn't the most supportive place for everybody, certainly not a goat. So it has to grow. It has to leave the nest and travel and explore its own gifts. Oh yeah, I might have been born with a tail, so that was good for me while I was swimming around in the ocean. But now I'm trying to climb up this mountain and I have a tail. But oh look, I got some hooves too. So let's use them and let's use that tail for some maneuvering, some balance when things get a little rocky. Well, let's not use it as something that's longing for what once was. Let's use it as maybe like a flipper to propel us. You know, we can rest back on our tail in between our two hooves and just have a sturdy little perch for ourselves. What is that for you? What's the mountaintop? What's the sea that you came from? And we're not it's not as mystical, right? Capricorn is not like wandering into fairyland. Capricorn is saying, all right, I need a little platform so I can put my hoof there and pull myself up. It's like the crack climbing of rock climbing. We need this very specific place for ourselves so that we can achieve to come up in the world no matter what it takes. So, what are you using to get yourself to where you want to be the most? So, let's bring those legs down and let's place the soles of the feet together. Let the knees go out to the sides. If you have some pillows or blocks to put underneath of your thighs, great. If you don't, also great. It's fine. They can just hang out there. We're just gonna let the inner thighs just relax a bit. And if you're feeling like I want to do more, well, then you can open your arms up and over the pillow. You can bring or shift the pillow kind of down underneath of your armpits and let your arms come out to the sides. You can reach your arms up and over your head. You can grab onto alternate elbows. This is your practice. So, what do you want to use or utilize that's at your disposal now? I gotta quit yapping so much, losing track of time. All right. Oh, all right, we're interested at this time in what is solid, what we can see, touch, purchase. We want to put our energy towards a concrete purpose, not a daydream, not imagination. We have really big dreams that we're all trying to achieve. And Capricorn is this energy that allows us to not get so caught up in the emotional fluctuations of things, but to be steady, right? I'm gonna build the solid foundation for this. So as you have your legs here, right, this is very vulnerable. This is very open to all the elements. This is goddess pose. This is the ruler of creation, but Capricorn energy is this very masculine energy. So we are allowing ourselves to receive the plan. It's like, I don't need to figure everything out. I just need to ask higher power what the next step is, take the step, and be in receiving mode to allow it all to come into my awareness, into my field. And then we're not just self-realizing, we're not just remembering who we are and what we're here to do. We're continuously taking that next step. So we're keeping the foundation, elongating the inner thighs. We're breathing continuously in that upward direction. That continuous upward motion is just like the Capricorn, the sea goat rising from the ocean, climbing up the mountain. So the breath is always moving up. So if they have this cycle of prana, life force energy, always consciously choosing to move it upwards, we're getting a flush through every one of the chakra systems. So you have 72,000 of these all over your body, but these ones that lie along your central nervous system, your spinal cord, are really powerful and potent. And if we can breathe fully into them, in and breathe fully out of them, we're really flushing through a lot of where we might be feeling some resistance. So pay attention as you go through your Agni Raj breath, as you breathe fully through each of your chakras. Where do you feel a little bit of challenge, of struggle, of resistance? And where do you feel a whole lot of ease? It's kind of funny that my throat I keep needing water. So that's definitely the chakra that I need to get a little resolution around, right? So we're going to focus on those areas and we're going to do practices. That's our next step. That's how we know what our next step is. We tune in, we say, oh, what's feeling not cozy, not right? So that's where we need to focus. So maybe we'll do some throat, because if it's coming up in me, it's got to be coming up in others as well. And it's kind of that season for little throat tickles. So this is a beautiful concept, that because Capricorn is so focused and it's typically around career, that once you achieve in your emotions this kind of like, okay, I know what I'm doing, I know where I'm going, I know what the next step is, I'm going to take it, I'm going to be fine. We start to let go of that aging, that rapid aging process, and we start to become a bit younger as we grow older. We're younger looking. So if you're harnessing that energy, you're lightening your load. It's not so challenging to find what the next step is. You're not questioning and worrying and stressing. You're just living in the flow. So that's another beautiful thing that Capricorn is reminding us of. Okay, from here, we're going to slide our hands down underneath of our thighs and lift them up. Maybe on an inhale, it might be easier. We're going to rock and roll over to one side. And then we're going to gently use our hands to press ourselves up to a seated, comfortable position. Excuse me. We're going to bring our one leg to a bent knee position. Sole of the foot against the front of the thigh. Whatever side, doesn't matter. We're going to do the other one. And the back leg is bent, so the toes can be close to your buttocks or not, doesn't really matter. And if you're kind of like, whoa, this is kind of unstable, then use whatever you have. Pillows, you can bring another pillow under this lifted hip if that feels more comfortable. So you're just more stable. We're using what we have to bring ourselves into a greater state of peace and stability. And then we're going to open up that throat chakra, because I'm getting that message is coming through. I'm going to pass it along. So we're going to take as we sink into this big stretch of the thighs, the quad, it should feel nice. You can lean back a little bit and kind of get a little bit more pull on the top of the thigh. I'm going to interlace the fingers. Elbows come out to the sides. We're doing a lot of pranayama tonight. This is interesting what's channeling through. We take a big inhale here. Sorry, exhale. Right? Still using that Agni Raj breath. And then on the inhale, we're going to let the knuckles press the chin back and bring the elbows. Maybe they touch in front of you, maybe they don't, doesn't really matter. The point is that we're letting the head fall back, so you're getting a little bit of that pran dripping into Bindu again. And then on your exhale, you're going to engage Mula Bandha, have the breath, right? Engage, coming all the way up until you're back to center. Chin parallel with the floor, tucked back slightly, ears in line with the shoulders, elbows out to the sides. So now you just repeat that with your own natural breath movement. So however fast or slow your breath moves. So inhale, start to bring your elbows forward, let your knuckles gently press your chin, the back of your head falls back. Elbows, again, they don't have to touch, but maybe they do. Maybe they come separate out like this and just lift up. And then when you're ready to exhale, engage the belly, the ribs down, shoulders fall, elbows come back out to the sides, the head's back to parallel. And then repeat. We'll do a couple more. Inhale. Head comes back, elbows forward. When you're at the top of your inhale, your belly should be so full. Your Mula Bandha should be released and loose and flowing. Maybe you can even feel energy in the back of the head, Bindu, or in the top of the head, the side of the neck. And as you exhale, you're drawing the belly back, letting the elbows come back out to the sides. Head coming back to parallel. Again, as you inhale, belly fills up, elbows come to center, head goes back. See if you can bring in your Ujjayi breath into it. You're using 3 pranayama at once. I'm just going to let you play with it. All right. See if you can coordinate the inhale breath with the head coming back. Exhale to engage and come back to center. 2 more. And then just let your hands flop. We're going to switch sides with the legs. You're going to bring this back leg around. The leg that was in front, you're going to bend the knee and bring that heel back behind you. And maybe you shift over so that your opposite hip is kind of lifted now. Just make sure you got something soft and cushiony underneath the back leg. Make sure you're balanced, right? Maybe you need to shift the pillow a little bit so you have more height on the front bent knee leg, if that makes sense. So from here, we're going to try a bit of a Kapalabhati breath. Just see how the throat is feeling. And we're going to work with the inhale, still the same filling up, because this is a really gentle practice. We're just going to do the inhale and the hold of the full Kapalabhati that I teach, and the full release. So here's how it works. Still with the same Agni Raj, you're going to inhale and fill up your belly, fill up your ribs, fill up your chest as your arms lift up. And when your hands get to the top, I'm just punching over so you can see, you're going to interlace your thumbs. You can let your fingers hover, or you can make soft fists and pull your thumbs actively apart. Your arms are going to be straight. You're still at the top of your inhale here, and you're holding your breath. Your arms are straight. Your chin is tucked. The back of your head is lifting up towards the ceiling a little bit, and you're just holding your breath. Now, with your body, Mula Bandha is open and released. The belly is full of breath. And you're just holding and creating like a beacon of light. Skull shining is the literal translation of Kapalabhati. So you're just engaging your vision, your inner insight towards the crown, Sahasrara, the top of the head. And you're holding here as long as you can without strain. We're not trying to force you to hold this longer than feels right for you. And when you need to release, that's when the exhale is going to start and when the engagement's going to start, starting with the root, Mula Bandha, release the thumbs. Envision like you're tracing a sphere of white light around your body with your thumbs. As your exhale follows the same pace of your arms, and then let your palms, the back of your palms, rest in your lap when they come all the way down. Full bottom of the exhale, stay here and hold the breath out. Inhale whenever you need to. And just allow the body to breathe in and out naturally this time. So take into account any sensations that came up for you when you were holding your breath, sensations that came forward when you were exhaling fully, sensations that came up when you were holding your exhale, and maybe anything remnant from the throat chakra work that we did, the Vishuddhi breath. We're going to do that breath twice more. Each time you get a little more familiar, you might notice subtle differences or shifts. Whenever you're ready, meaning when you're at the bottom of your last exhale, start to inhale as you reach your arms up. So release Mula Bandha, let the belly fill, the ribs fill, the chest fill, the throat lifts. Breath is in the third eye, Bindu on the top of the head. So interlace your thumbs again, stretch your arms straight, hug the shoulders up by the ears, elongate the spine, hold your breath at the top of your inhale. Hold here as long as you can without strain. You're not breathing in or out, you're just holding your breath at the top of your inhale. Whenever you need to release, there's no rush, there's no need for you to hold longer than you need to. As you exhale, engage Mula Bandha, draw the belly back, ribs down, let the arms slowly fall at the same pace of your exhale breath. When your palms reach your lap, you should be at the bottom of your exhale breath and just hold it out there for as long as you can without strain. Gently release and breathe naturally. Hmm. Come back to center, and now we're going to utilize the bolster or the pillow or both. Completely up to you. I just happen to have both. So I'm going to place both on top of each other. And I have this other flat pillow underneath of my hip just so it's a little soft. We're going to bring both of our legs so that they're, I don't know, they're kind of like, they could be parallel, they could be staggered a little bit, doesn't matter all that much. And we're going to rotate the body and then make sure that the pillow and bolster are up against your hip. We're going to do deer pose, just lying down over the pillow, the bolster, letting the hands lie wherever they fall, and just sinking in. So here we're taking a little side lying rest. And if you can still keep the action of the Ujjayi in the back of the throat, the Agni Raj breath, bottom to top of the head, fine. See what that experience is like for you. And really the top hip is what we're stretching out here. Just giving a little more spaciousness as we also twist. So this is a time of great diligence and hard work. There's a lot of status to be gained now. It's a time of building your reputation. And whatever you've been toiling over, Whatever you've sacrificed for, there will be magnificent results revealed. It may be slow, but Capricorn has this systematic way of bringing you to a solid and lasting event, culmination, dream, reality. You're going to meet all the right people who will support you and your goals. Some might be greater in status than you, but they're going to show you the ropes and support you substantially. Hold on to those people. You'll know who they are. We have this energy of drive and ambition. It's telling us to put away all things that are naive and childish and just take responsibility for ourselves. Go after what you want in a systematic way and don't look back. Don't stay in the shadow. Come out into the light. It's time to unleash your talents upon the world. Do not let up. Go out on a limb. Try. And with that, we're going to shift to the other side. Gently bring your hands under your shoulders, chest. Inhale and press yourself back up. It might be nice to switch to the other side by just rotating so your back is to the bolster and then rotating all the way around to the other side. Again, bring the bolster up against the hip. The legs are stacked or staggered. Rotate the torso and lie down. So you can have your head turned either direction, maybe the opposite way as before, or maybe not. Maybe you want to have your head turned on the same side as before. Completely up to you. So there's some cards that I drew today from the Soul Purpose, and this is coming up because we have this soul, the moon card speaks to our soul. So I think these are really appropriate for today and pretty powerful. The first one is confidence. Confidence is the key that opens the portal to your greatness. However, it must be grounded without egoic arrogance. Speak confidently to yourself. Apologize when necessary. Nurture yourself and know how important and valuable you are. This speaks very much to the Capricorn Moon because if nothing else, Capricorn is confident. And this is how we achieve what we desire. We speak it, we act on it, we connect with others who are sharing that same vision. It must be grounded. As the sea goat, we can't be egoic. We can't take things for granted. We have to be very grounded or we might get shaken off our tail. Evolution. In each lifetime, we learn and grow so much, and each lesson adds to the rich evolution of our soul being, just like the moon. Like a beautiful tapestry, we weave ourselves brighter and more brilliant with each expansion in our energy. Connect to the bigger picture and see the divinely guided evolution of your life. This is the visionary thinking of what that mountaintop is. Why are we here? What is our soul's purpose? Hmm. Hmm. And then worth. Every person alive is innately worthy of limitless love, health, joy, and wealth. Unfortunately, you may hold tight to the limiting belief of unworthiness. Yet you are worthy of all you want, need, and desire. You deserve it all, not because of what you've done, but because you are here. You exist, my dear, and that is why you are here. Hmm. Take one last little snuggle into this deer pose. And I'd like to present you with two options for your Shavasana. Either belly lying, removing all of the pillows and coming down to rest on your belly. Maybe the cushion underneath of your knees. And just allowing your head to lie in your hands or lying on your back. So if you'd like to, you can roll over from this position. I'm personally going to stay lying on my belly because we did all that work on our backs, but it is completely up to you. Choose what works for your body, your spirit, your emotional state. What's coming up? What do you need? I find it can be really nice to ground with the belly down. And if you are in your belly, you can still practice the Agni Raj breath. Filling up as the belly expands and presses away. Engaging and exhaling to pull the belly back, the tailbone down slightly, the ribs towards the hips. And just stay. Rest, dear one. Allow your whole body to be heavy and sink into the earth. Let Mama Gaia hold you. Very gently begin to come back. Begin to wiggle your toes, rock your legs, wiggle your fingers, roll your shoulders, move your head from side to side. Feel around in your mouth with your tongue.
And when you're ready, if you're laying on your back, roll over to one side and gently use your hands to press yourself back up on an inhale. And if you were belly lying, then simply come into a mini cobra. Send the hips back gently towards the heels. Just walk the knees forward until you are seated in a comfortable position. When you arrive, take a nice big inhale breath as you reach your arms up and over your head. Hold there in prayer. And when you're ready to exhale, lower your arms and wrap them around yourself in a big hug. Rock yourself from side to side. Honor all of the awareness that came through in class and all that did not. You are processing and healing parts of you all the time. It's also fine to take breaks and not have a massive insight or an emotional catharsis. Just be, just stay steady, stay the course. Bring your hands to your heart center and gently bow your head in honor of all that you are, all that there is, all the signs and the stars, and this beautiful Capricorn moon. I honor you. May you not try to hit the top of your mountain, but may you instead just become clearer on what the next best step is. I love you. Thanks for being here. I'll see you next week. Enjoy.